Okay. Okay, so we'll get started with the second half. We're gonna take a look at the page 6, examples 2, and example 3, if we could do it. You should be able to do it. Okay, so this one here, it says, given the graph, okay, they gave us the graph of the function, y equals to f of x, where f of x is a quadratic function. Okay, well, we know that because we can see it's a quadratic. It's a parabola. Sketch the graph of the square root of f of x. So, what did we have to do? We have to look at where f of x, the f of x has to be non-negative. Where is the f of x non-negative? So above the x-axis. So those are the non-negative for f of x. Where is the f of x negative? Under, right? So these ones here will not be defined. So let's erase that one right now. We don't have to worry about that, right? Okay, good. So where are your invariant points? So invariant points is where the square root of f of x is equal to the square root, is equal to f of x. Okay? And that happens at when f of x is 0 or 1. Where is f of x 0? It's 0 here, right? And 0 there. Okay. Where is f of x 1? It's right there, right? It's the y value that we're looking at, right? 1 here, and then the other one is up there. Okay. So far so good? Yeah? So those are the invariant points. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the nice numbers. Okay, and I've seen some people already try to do the table of values. Okay, I'll try to do that with you. Okay, so x, f of x, and then the square root of f of x. So here, this ones would be it's not defined here. So this point is at negative 1, 0. Negative 1, 0. Okay. Where's the other one? That's a nice number. I see that it's this point here is going to be 0, 5. This point here is 0, 5. Oh, hello. Okay. Where's the other one? This one is going to be 5, 0. And then this part is going to be 6, 5. Okay. So what are we going to do? Okay. So if you take a look at this, we're taking the square root of f of x. We're not taking the square root of this x, we're taking the square root of f of x. So square root of 0 is 0. So as you can see, nothing changed. That's why it's called invariant points. And then this part here, square root of 5. So square root of 5 would be approximately 2.23. 2.236. Okay, and then over here 5, 0. Square root of that is 0. Square root of 5 is square root of 5 again, approximately 2.236. So which one are we plotting, right? We want to plot these two. Okay, this is your x, and then this is your new y value. So we already have the 0, 0. Negative 1, 0 right there. 0, 2 point something, 2.2. 0, 2.2 would be somewhere over here. 5, 0, 5, 0 would be there. And then 6, 2.36. 2.36. 236. Now, somebody asked me, it's like, oh, well, does that mean we're going to use a calculator all the time? And here's the thing. What we can do is we can take a look at the perfect square. So where is the perfect square? Perfect squares are, well, 0, 1, 4. This is where the point where y is 4. So square root of 4 is 2. So that's going to be where that is. Right there. Here's the other 4. Oh, no, that's not that one. It's this one. The y is 4. So square root of 4 is 2. So over here. So you don't necessarily have to rely on the graphing on a scientific calculator to figure out the approximate, because we're going to also pick the ones that are easy to take the square root of. So where's our graph? Make sure I do the bubble between 0 and 1. So here, there's a little bubble there, slightly above the original function. And then there. Don't forget the arrow, because this is a continuous function. It's going to continue that way. And then here's the other one. Again, the bubble, a little bit of a bubble there. And then your graph goes this way. So your function would be these two. So far, so good? Yeah? Okay, good. The graph of f of x. This is the graph of f of x, the parabola. And then the graph of the square root of f of x would be this one. Now let's take a look at the domain. What's the domain of the function? What's the domain of these? Now we have two branches, right? So we have to state the two pieces together. So it's going to be, what about this part here? This is going to be -1 to the less than or equal to -1. So the domain is from negative infinity up to 1, including 1. So we put our square brackets there. These parts here are not defined, so we're not going to do that. And then the next part would be from 5 to infinity. So are you okay with this? What does the symbol mean? Union. Yeah, union 5 to infinity. Okay. Good. What about the range? Oh, let's do the other one. So x, where x is that, x has to be less than or equal to 1, union x has to be greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so far so good, because there's a break between 1 and 5, right? It's not defined there. Yes, take a look at the range. What's the range of the function? Range are the possible y values. Y has to be greater than, oh yeah, and also equal to 0. Yeah, where y is an element of real numbers. Yeah, and there's no breaking there. It's just anything from 0 and higher. What's the other way of writing that? It's going to be bracket 0 to infinity. Okay, good. So far so good. Yeah? Okay, now let's take a look at the letter B. Now this is a parabola opening down. Okay, remember f of x it's only defined, the square root of f of x is defined for non-negative f of x. Okay, so where is the non-negative f of x? Yeah, above the x-axis. So we're gonna disregard the bottom piece. Where are the invariant points? Invariant points are where where y is 0, f of x is 0, f of x is 0 here, and f of x is positive 1. Where's positive 1? Right there. This is 1, so right there. Now we're also going to pick something that is easy to take the square root of, okay? Square root of 4, this is 4. Where square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be, if this is 4, then now it's going to be 2. And if this is 4, then the square root of 4 is 2. And then this one, the next easy number to take a square root of is the square root of 9. So this is 9 right here. Square root of 9 is 3. So that's this 3 right there. Okay. And then everything. So our graph would be somewhere here. Okay. So where's our bubble? There's one tiny bubble there. Okay. And then go that way. Up to 3. And then there's a little bubble right here between those two invariant points, and then keep going. Kind of looks like that. Kind of looks like an egg or half an egg. What's a domain? What's a domain for these ones? Possible x values between -3 to +3, so that, okay, there's no gaps in between, right? So we don't have to do the union, so it's going to be from -3 to +3, okay? What's the other way of writing that? X such that x is greater than or equal to -3, but less than or equal to +3. Where x is an element of real numbers. What about range? Y is greater than or equal to 3. So that means up here, our graph should be here. This egg, kind of egg shape. So the y values is from 0 to 3. Okay, so how do we do 0 to 3? Y is greater than or equal to 0, because you read it backwards, but less than or equal to 3. Y such that. Okay, what's the other way? This is a set notation way. The interval notation would be from 0, including 0, to 3. Okay, good? So far so good? Yeah. You get to practice this. We're going to take a look at the last one. So we took at the square root of the linear function, square root of the quadratic function, parabola opening up, one parabola opening down. Now we're going to take a look at the cubic function. Okay, cubic function. Now you notice a nice cube function there. Okay, why don't you erase, no, not erase, but kind of eliminate. That's a good word. I was like, you can't use that. Eliminate the part that's not defined. Okay, so eliminate the part that is not defined. where it's not defined, right? Where f of x is negative is not defined. So this part here, we can eliminate. Thank you for that. Okay, good. So that's that part, that's done. Now we have to deal with some parts in here where it's where are the invariant points? Invariant points is where f of x is equal to 0 and f of x is equals to 1. Because if we take the square root of that, it's going to not change. So it's where, can somebody give us one invariant points? Invariant point. At 1? Okay. At right there, at 1. Anything else? Yeah, when x is negative 1, yeah. And minus 2. Okay. So those are the invariant points when f of x is 0. Where are the invariant points when f of x is 1? Well, this one here didn't even reach 1, right? They're all under 1. And then where's f of x 1? Right there. So that's the invariant points. Okay. Oh no, because this one here, okay, let's take a look. I think I know what you're saying. So x, f of x, square root of f of x. So at this point, it's going to be negative 1, 0. Yeah. And then we're actually not taking the square root of a negative 1. We're taking the square root of 0. Yeah, 0. Okay, is that good? Okay, so yeah, so that one is okay, and then this one is okay, right? So negative 2 comma 0. So f of 0, f of x is 0, so square root of 0 is 0. Okay, good. So it's going to be somewhere over here. Where else? This is 4, right there. The y is 4. So where's the square root of 4? It's going to be 2, right there. So this part here is not bad. We can just go like this. Okay. And then there's like that bubble right there, right? Okay. Now this part, everything is above 1. So let's see here. This one here is 0.5. What is the square root of 0.5? We got 7.707? Yeah, so it's slightly higher, right? And then this one is also 0.5. The y is 0.5, so square root of 0.5 is higher. So it's going to go like this, slightly higher. So I'm just going to make that really, really different. So this is that part, and then this is that part where okay. State the domain and range. Okay, what's the domain? As you can see, the domain has a break, right? There's a break. So what's the domain in here? The domain is x x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, x is greater than or equal to 1, union.
And the other one is less than.
And then this one would be, okay, between -2 and -1. So greater than or equal to -2, but less than or equal to 1, -1. Okay. What about the range? The range. Yep, y is greater than 0. Anything else? Or equal to 0. Okay. Yeah, because anything here, the y values are 0 and higher. Okay, so wow, we finished lesson 1 and lesson 2, and we actually had some time to work on some stuff. So if you take a look at this one, there's some practice questions for you. We already tried question 5. So please try 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12. When you see MC, it means multiple choice questions 1 and 2. Okay? Are you going to be okay with that one? Yeah? Okay. So, that's that.